君はカスラナの先祖、全文明の人類を率いて終焉まで戦った英雄。しかし同時に君は夜のナンナの孫子成功計画の執行者。君カスラナ。復讐と滅び君に与えられた選択肢はこの二つだけだ。
Everything
Look into the faces of passers-by, hoping for something. For an instant, bring me back to you.
夜空に咲いた桜の雫があなたと共に去りゆく明日神への満月 Horns on my head, different goddess to kiss goddesses. Here she comes walking down the street. Another fabulous love in the street.
Kids see my clothes of remedies. I see that there is closures. Cause I'm the ones who have the wish me away. cake. That's such nonsense, I would never say that. You stay in the room so long that I finally got a girlfriend, she's coming home.
我不知道你希望看到什么样的反应，但我知道，姬子老师希望我做什么。这是空之律者。答对了。